Hi guys! On the Facebook group for Ronin SC, I realized that many people don't know how to balance their gimbal. So I thought of putting together this short video to demonstrate how I do it, and this hopefully is going to help you to balance your Ronin SC. The procedure is made of 5 steps. The first step is to set up the camera on the plate. The second step is to balance the tilt axis. The third step is to balance the roll axis. The fourth step is to balance the pan axis. And the fifth and most important step is to test your gimbal without switching it on to make sure that it's balanced. If you follow this procedure, you'll be 100% sure that when you then connect your gimbal to the phone and the app, it will be balanced perfectly. Step 1 is going to be to assemble our camera on the plate. In order to do that, I've already laid out all the pieces that we need, which is the base plate, the lens holder and the screw, one of the 1/4 of an inch screws, the camera and a coin. Very important is to remove the hood and the lens cap because anything can unbalance your gimbal. So the way I do it is to put the camera upside down, then assemble the screw on the plate, which can be a bit fidgety occasionally. Assemble the lens holder, which has got a specific way it goes, you can see here. And then it's very important to position it in a way that the focus ring and the aperture ring, this lens has got also an aperture ring, can continue to move freely once it's assembled on the gimbal. So to do that, I will position it in this intermediate space here, where I can see that if I do that, my rings continue to move freely, in case then I need to, for some reason, adjust my camera. So I tighten the screw initially, like that. And the way I do it, first position the lens holder so it's not moving, and then I secure the plate with the coin quite strongly because I don't want it to move for any reason. At this point you can see that it's perfectly in position and ready to go on our gimbal. The step is going to be to balance the tilt axis. First of all, let's prepare the Ronin in position with the motors locked, and then put our camera on the tray and connect the USB cables. And the first thing we need to do is unlock the tilt motor and see if the camera goes up or down. And we can see that in this case it's a bit heavy on the back. So we need to adjust the position of the tray until it's stable, which can take a bit of time. Seems okay. I typically use this little thumb screw to remember the position and put it on, but then sometimes even when you secure the screws on the bottom, the balance may change. So these screws you probably adjust again when you touch the roll axis. So looks still a bit heavy on the back. So push it a bit more forward. Just a little bit, to make sure we get no surprises later. There you go. And secure again our little thumb screw. See, it tends to go naturally in the position it needs to be. Then the second thing that we need to do is to put the camera lens on top and see that it stays in this position. And we can see that it doesn't. so it's heavy on this part, so we're gonna unlock this other screw and push it in until we see that it's staying up. Now typically this is very near to where the center of the lens is, because that's where the center of gravity is. So you can give that a go and see if it works. Then again, try putting the camera at 45 degrees, lens down and up, and then up again, and you can see that that's pretty much balanced. And that's the balance of the tilt axis. Third step is going to be to balance the roll axis. So let's unlock the roll motor, and we can see that the camera is obviously falling on this side. This is the same screw that we use for the tilt axis, and therefore it's very important, this little thumb screw, to remember the position, so that you can then slide it in the front until you find the right balance. So we put it a few notches this side, still seems to be heavy. Let's go the other way, so we're close. That sounds about right. So let's secure the screw. Again, in this particular camera that I have, I cannot do the 45 degrees with the Ronin SC. With the S, I will do it, but here, if I do it, it just tends to go back in position. So what I do, I give it a few moves and see if it's got a tendency to stay on one side or the other. And in this case, we can see that it's maybe a tad going on this part. So if we want to be really, really precise, we're going to touch it just a little bit, but really tiny little bit, because it's the most correct, and secure the screw. And that's the balancing of the roll axis done. Okay, our first step is going to be to balance the pan axis, which is the one most people have problems when they then do the balance test on the app. So I'm going to spend a few seconds to show you how I do it, which is different to what is on the manual. So let's unlock the pan axis. And the way I do it is not to tilt the Ronin on the feet, because the feet are triangular and the angle will be uneven. So what do? I pull it up. Then once it's like this, I move it. And you can see already that it's heavy on the front. That's going to be true in both directions. So I know that I need to pull back the axis. So I work on the screw, pull back quite a bit, do the test again. And now it's going the other direction. But it's much better. So we'll see. Place in between is going to be what you need. Okay. Okay, there's been a bit of movement, but that's because I angle it really a lot. So I think I'll be quite satisfied with this, and that's, for me, the pan axis balanced. Step 5. We've done all we thought was correct, and now if we have, the Ronin is going to be balanced even without the motor on. So the way I do it is to pick it up, close the feet, and start moving it. Sometimes even quite brutally moving it, and I don't need to see the lens and the camera going upside down. See, here it's swaying a bit because I'm moving really fast, but it's still staying in position. Then I perform the same test in flashlight position. So I put the camera like this and I move it. You can see, even if I move quite fast, my camera is completely steady, which means that when I'm going to now do auto tune and balance test, I'm 100% sure this gimbal will be balanced. Okay, it's time to do the proof of the pudding. So let's switch on our Ronin, connect it to the app. And the first thing we're going to do is going to auto-tune. The gimbal will vibrate, that's totally normal. And it could be that some of the stiffness parameters are quite high. You can see here I got stiffness on roll 60, which is quite high. That does not mean that your gimbal is not balanced, so don't worry about it. And then the last step is going to be the balance test. Now again, I don't do this while standing on the tripod feet. What I do is to hold my gimbal, put it in a firm position where it gets to around 30 degrees, like this, so that I know that I'm not going to be vibrating or shaking while the test is being performed, and then do begin test. If all I said is done correctly, you will end up with excellent on all axes. And because you tested manually that the camera doesn't tilt or spin, you know that it's perfectly balanced. And you can see balance test result is excellent on all axes. So if you follow the 5 steps, what you have is a perfectly balanced Ronin SC, which you're going to enjoy using from now on. I hope you like this video. If you have, press like, and if you want to subscribe my channel, I mostly do underwater videos, which is really my passion, but I thought this little short video can help you guys that really want to get the most out of your gimbal. Thank you!